Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion / hot take. This actually may be more of a hot take, if I must ask. So a couple weeks ago, somebody put on the Degrassi Reddit about Maya's depression storyline, saying that it is top tier. Degrassi really displayed the signs and symptoms greatly, and it makes sense she became depressed after everything that's happened to her. Cam / Adam's death, the bus crush, the cyberbullying on multiple occasions, getting swatted, getting cheated on, etc. I guess you can kind of say I'm going to make this one an unpopular opinion, saying that Maya's depression storyline, it's good, but it's not the number one storyline ever. I've actually done a Degrassi storylines countdown, and I can't remember where Maya's ended up. I think it missed the top 10 or something because it didn't. Well, I don't know how it got voted, but anyway, I don't know off the top of my head because I think I may have slipped up in a sense. So that don't quote me on that. But to me, I feel in a sense that Maya's storyline was good. Excuse me. Anyway, people said that this is a good storyline. Someone said, absolutely. The change in her tone and voice during that season when she was depressed. Best storyline by far. Season 12. And someone said, we don't see that often with Degrassi, that everything keeps building and building. Tater Tot Queen said, I really liked Maya. Dealing with Cam's depression and suicide was a lot for a teenager. All the subsequent stuff, her mom's MS, multiple sclerosis, Katie moving, etc., just compounded her depression. Anyway, a lot of people said it was an interesting take on depression. And somebody even said, I think her suicide attempt played a part in Esme's breakdown. Well, I don't think so. And I think they were going to go into Esme's storyline, but it got canceled. So Maya didn't have anything to do with Adam's death and all that. So, yeah, that was kind of pathetic. So, anyway, a lot of things happened with Maya's depression, and it was an important event in a sense. A lot of people said it was the best storyline they ever did. Unfortunately, I've come to realize that, personally, I don't think it's number one because the voters didn't even vote it top 5. Did they vote it top 5? I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter because the fact of the matter is that it was still a good storyline. So anyway, I agree that Maya's storyline's great, but I don't think it's number one. But it does come from a bit of bias and all that. I mean, you could believe me when it is an unpopular opinion based on the fact that my whole situation with it not being the best storyline of the year of the Degrassi era is huge. I think it's the best storyline in the Next Class era. I mean, you got Frankie's racist poster, Hunter getting angry at the gaming club. You got Tristan's coma, the bus crash, but of course the bus crash led to the depression. And then, Zoe's coming out of the closet and then her mom just hating her guts. So a lot of things happen for a reason. So as is, yeah, I think the whole storyline's great. I mean, it had its deep roots in the Cam in season 12 that, Maya had a lot of guilt. And I think she was trying to not act out in anger that she had guilt over the fact that she should have helped Cam when she did. But I mean, you can't really blame Maya in a sense because Maya still had a relationship with Sig, and Sig was jealous that Cam wanted Maya and wanted to destroy Cam. And a lot of people figured that Sig was going to get, an ending in season 12. He's out the door and Maya would have to find someone else. But yeah, Sig to me kind of stunk of bad garbage and all that. And I still think that Sig might have used his gang thing to get Maya to be with him. And, Sig was jealous when Maya went after other guys like Miles and them. And then when Maya didn't have anybody, Sig pushed anybody who wanted. Sig wanted to be with Maya. But when Sig was with someone else, he wanted to destroy Maya. Saying that it's your fault, Maya, that I'm with somebody else. I really don't like singing that. But yeah, the depression storyline for me was great and all that. I mean, her strange response at Cam's uh visitation or wake or whatever. It's like, what the hell? Maya, Cam was your boyfriend. Why are you acting so like low level and you just want to do your cello presentation and all that? Like it didn't hit Maya at first. It didn't really hit Maya about Cam's death. So I think in a sense Maya was just happy go lucky and didn't really want to react to it. Probably didn't want to react to it because there's a lot of death and there's gruesomeness to it. I don't blame her at all. The fact of the matter, though, is that Maya was a decent person. And the decency of Maya was that, her not helping Cam and her self anger towards herself. Season 13, she tried to be more provocative. Katie and her mom basically tell Maya off. And Maya said, he broke up with me over a text and I'll never be happy again. Jeez, Maya, lighten up. Maya finally realized that she should be talking about Cam in such a way that she should tell people why she seems to be kind of a prude in a sense. Season 14 is like, she has flashbacks to Cam's problems when she dreams that Miles is stuck jumping off the balcony because she knew that Cam did that too. And, Miles ending up ghosting her on social media. Maya's like, I can't have Miles kill himself again. It happened once. Maya would really freak out if Miles killed himself. But Miles was saying it in the vernacular that, God, I wish I was dead after getting sick and all that. And then, Maya's mom told her that it's okay to be concerned about Miles, but don't go overboard impressing yourself for a boy, ruining your life for a boy. I mean, Maya should have said, and I said in an earlier unpopular opinion, I said that Maya should have said something about Cam because maybe she got more sympathy. But it seemed that everyone was out against her and she was angry and all that. Can't blame her. But the main point about this video is Maya's depression line is not the top storyline. Well, it didn't get voted number one in the storylines. What got voted as number one? And I did put Maya's depression storyline in a pretty good in polls and all that. It's just that, the Reddit community doesn't really help you in a sense. Now, for a lot of you guys, Degrassi Reddit, you're probably starting watching Degrassi even in the next class phase. There's three eras: the Claire era, which is from seasons 8 to 14, the Emma era, the first 7 seasons, and of course the next class era, which was the Maya era. And basically, if you don't watch Degrassi from the start and all that, you're gonna obviously think Maya's depression storyline was the best. And even if you started up before Cam's death season 12. But people are fickle. But in my mind, the number one storyline, as voted by people on Reddit, and of course it is in line with my thing, is the whole Time Stand Still storyline. I mean, there are a few similarities. One of the biggest, with Maya's depression, it actually didn't. Because remember the one time that Snake stopped Hunter from shooting up the school because he said something about Rick Murray? That was not Maya's depression, although Maya was targeted by Hunter, because she kind of ruined the gaming club. Although it was probably Goldie, and basically Goldie needed to use Maya as a pawn to take the blame off her, deflect the blame off Goldie, and put it on Maya. Man, dumb move, Goldie. Dumb move. Fuck. Why did I say gum? But yeah, the Time Stand Still storyline is still number one. I mean, yeah, it's from season 4. I know some people probably have not watched season 4, or probably heard of it but didn't really watch the episodes. But man, that's when Degrassi really went there. Yes, Degrassi went there with the whole Maya suicide attempt and the depression angle from both Cam's death and season 17 / season 3 of Next Class with the bus crash. But the fact of the matter is that it's Time Stand Still. I mean, so many legendary characters had a big part to play in this whole thing. In season 3, Rick abuses Terry. And we thought that after Rick probably went to another school or was out of the picture, that we would never see Rick again. Think again. Season 4, he comes back. As if nothing happens. The school's upset, rightfully so, that the administration isn't helping them out with anything. I mean, Raj said his hands are tied because Rick doesn't have a criminal charge. And I mean, I think Raj probably would have had a chance. I think Raj should have. I just don't know if he had any inkling that Rick would be a bad situation to put Rick back in Degrassi. I think he did, but the school board basically said there was no problem, so he had to go by their word. You know, he prides himself on his principal job more so than the students, and he just had to tell Emma. And this was not a deleted scene, like when he tells Marco and Alex that his hands are tied. In a sense, he tells Emma to stay out of this Rick situation because this is not one of your stupid crusades. Are you crazy, Raditch? It seems that Raditch has a grudge for Emma. Oh wait, probably he does. After Fight for Your Right season 2, I suggest watching them. But yeah, I mean, you're just pointing out that the students can't do anything? Jeez. I mean, the students are definitely going to try to destroy Raditch, I mean, for his attitudes and all that crap. So they do the Orange Ribbon campaign to get rid of Rick. It doesn't work in a sense. It stopped, well, everyone bullies Rick, but they use it as a rallying call to abuse Rick instead of the real cause, Emma said, about domestic violence. Although it must be said that Emma probably also had hidden agendas in the ribbon campaign, mostly because of the fact that Emma probably was, well, one of the main reasons was to get back at Raj for calling her crusade silly. Remember, this is before Zombie Emma, that Emma was the pretentious one from season 1 to 3.5, if you will. And also, number 2 is to get a friend group. Remember, she screwed up losing Manny and Liberty over the pettiness of Liberty being with Chris. I mean, Emma deserved it in a sense to get chastised because if she wanted to be with Chris because, you know, she felt bad for it, she should have said so. But she basically said it too little too late, and everyone just abandoned her. You know, and then Paige and her group basically kick Emma out for having sympathy towards Rick, and that gets Rick towards Emma. Emma is with Rick, Toby, and Jimmy on the Lucky Brain team. Rick gets into deep trouble based on the fact that, you know, Spitter and Jay want to destroy him once and for all for not leaving Degrassi and for retaliating with the spray paint. And then all of a sudden, Rick gets painted and feathered. It seemed that Rick was actually getting answers. Raj was actually believing Rick's thinks that something's fishy. And, you know, Rick decides to take a gun, goes after Paige, but Paige doesn't see the gun. Nobody sees the gun. And then Paige apologizes for everything, and Rick realizes that Paige could not have been hurting him if she was going to be so genuine about talking about this whole situation. So he backs off, and then he puts the gun in his locker and cleans himself up. But thanks to him carelessly cleaning himself up, Spinner and Jay find his painted feathers and then realize he's in the stall and talks about how Jimmy set things up. Rick shoots Jimmy, and then Rick goes after Emma for spurting him, but Sean saves the day by inadvertently killing him. Lots of blame passed around, like this administration gets a lot of flack and all that. Like Raj really gets a lot of flack. Simpson even calls himself out, which is the best thing possible. And then, of course, you got all these characters and how they feel about it, and the aftermaths. There's a lot of freaking aftermaths. I mean, man, oh man, there's aftermaths galore. I mean, from PTSD and gonorrhea, like Eva, to an aftermath that didn't deal with PTSD, that was Toby's POV, which didn't care about it, to making Sean leave Degrassi for a year and a half, to having characters realize their mistakes, to having Spinner and Jay at the end of the storyline finally get their just desserts and get expelled for their actions towards Rick and all that. And Alex surviving it, but she probably had guilt over it. Or did she? We don't know. And also, you know, the end of Raditch. Like, Raditch was canned. Like, he was reassigned. After that episode, he was never seen, heard, or even talked about in the Degrassi universe. That's kind of sad, don't you think? Kind of a downfall. And then, you know, a lot of people having the problems. Jimmy, of course, being in the wheelchair and then trying to piece his life together. How were we supposed to know that Jimmy Brooks was Aubrey Drake Graham? Like the rap mega god Drake. So for my money, the best storyline out there is Time Stands Still. I mean, it brought Degrassi to a standstill. And there's like lots of things. Characters still had guilt and all that. it changed Emma. Like Emma, it inadvertently caused Emma to go from cause girl to basically clingy towards friends and clingy towards a boyfriend. But I did talk about it why she's so clingy and all that twice. I did in 2 unpopular opinion videos, so you might as well watch those because I don't want to repeat myself and take up more of your time. So anyway, I like Maya's depression storyline. It was crazy that Degrassi actually, we thought it was over, and then a few years later, poof, it's back. Crazy. I like I like the storyline, but the fact of the matter is, it's not the best storyline because the Reddit community called Time Stand Still #1. I mean, my depression storyline's got to be top 5 for me, but I don't even know where it ranked in the thing. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.